welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I actually did an update. My last update was, well, my last video was when I was actually in the hospital, and then obviously like there's a few days after as well that I had to just quickly kind of update things on how everything was going. But I thought I definitely need to do an update. I wanted to do one last week for my 6-week update, but yeah, and I've just said update about 10 million times, so I do apologise for that. The first thing I'd like to say is that it's been tough. It's not been easy at all. It's been a really hard challenge for me. I knew it would be. I wasn't expecting it to be easy at all, but I've just basically been wanting to do a runner most of the time. I'm not gonna lie, and I suppose it's pretty normal. Sorry about my hair, by the way. Just being a mum, I don't even get to do my eyebrows sometimes, so this is like, this is great. I want to show you Harry on the camera, but he's asleep at the moment. I've just gave him his bottle, and I literally don't get any time to do anything these days unless he's asleep, which is pretty rare now. When I gave birth, he slept a lot, and I was surprised, and everyone was saying like how lucky I am, but things have changed a lot now, and I think the reason why he actually slept a lot was because the medication that I was on. I was on a lot of medication. I wasn't very well with the cesarean, so a lot happened with that, which I'll have to update you on now. So I don't know where to start, but basically I wasn't in the hospital for too long. I thought maybe you'd be in for about a week, but they do tell you usually 3 or 4 days, and I think I was actually out after 2 days of giving birth. And I know it was Christmas time, and my dad's birthday was on Christmas Eve as well, but I don't think they should actually give you the option, because obviously I wanted to get home, and so that option was there. I took it, and really that is one thing I regret. I regret telling them that I was ready to go home, because I did not feel ready at all. I think a day after the C-section, or maybe on the day, they came to check my stitches and everything else, and they do loads of tests every 4 hours, as well as on the baby as well. They're constantly checking everything. I mean, you've got a drip and everything else. I was always asking for stronger pain relief, which was called Aura Morph. I think it's like an oral morphine basically, and it's just in a little syringe, and you just take it orally, obviously. Yeah, it was actually like, I don't think it even did anything for the pain, to be fair. It just sent me to sleep, which is why, because I was breastfeeding, I think Harry might have slept a lot as well because of it going through my system. They came to me to check me over and realised that I was in a bit of a mess down below. And so they had to get me to stand up and, you know, put some underwear on and stuff like that. So, as you know, if you'd watched my previous videos, I got some extra big underwear just for after, because I knew that you'd need kind of like the granny pants and a bigger size because of the swelling, and obviously you don't want nothing to sit on your stitches. So I was all prepared, and I was thinking, great, okay, this is fine, you know, it's just one of them, I need a new pad and stuff like that. They've sorted me out. When they asked me to get up, I stood up and almost fell over forward on my face. Like, I was shaking. I was like really scared. I couldn't believe they were asking me to stand up, for one. And two, I was a little bit concerned because I didn't know what mess was actually like going on down there. So anyway, Lou was with me at that point, but he was out of the ward kind of thing, like looking out the window. I don't know what he was doing. And as he looked in, he said he's seen like a lot of blood, and I did lose a lot of blood. But apparently it's normal to lose quite a bit, I don't know. But considering it was a planned cesarean, I thought that maybe things would have probably been a bit more like controlled, I don't know. Anyway, everything went fine. I was really freaking out in the cesarean though, like like actually having the operation, I was shaking, I was nervous, I felt something as well. I actually felt pain, but it was like a not like a really bad pain, but it was kind of scary because I thought, oh, is this normal? So obviously I said to Lou, like, I can feel something and it's not nice. And I asked the, like, I don't know if it was a surgeon or a doctor who was by my side checking the monitor. He said it was basically, he looked over the screen and he was like, oh, they're just ripping your muscles. And I was like, oh, okay. I actually felt, I don't know how to explain the feeling, but I suppose if you got like a breast of chicken and teared it and you kind of feel like the resistance of it tearing, it was like that. I actually felt my muscles ripping. It was horrible. It was the worst thing ever. The pushing and shoving and everything else in my belly, I felt sick with. So if I ever have to have another operation, I want to be put to sleep, because there's no way I'm gonna be going through an operation where I stay awake ever again. It's just not good. Not good for me mentally, that's for sure. And I was freaked out after. And even through like Christmas time and New Year, I was still talking about how crazy the whole situation is, because even though you don't see anything, you remember a lot. And even though you're on a lot of drugs as well, you know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on to a certain extent. So I think that makes you worry even more. And I think maybe I would have been better if I actually seen what was going on. I don't know, but I think not knowing worries me as much as, you know, as it's like actually having the surgery kind of thing. And obviously I've had surgery before, but I was never really nervous about it. And more, obviously, well, with my breast surgery, I was kind of excited about that anyway, because I knew it was for a good cause. And I know that this is, you know, it was a good cause, because obviously I got my baby out of it. But I think because I never ever wanted to go and have a C-section and it had to happen, I think that's what kind of upset me more. And then to actually go through that and then go through a lot of everything else after, it was just not nice. So anyway, it was all healthy, everything was fine. They stitched me back up, put me in recovery, everything was fine again. So yeah, it was just basically, I don't know if it was like the day after, when obviously I had that mess, things started to go a bit downhill since then, and they asked me to do a wee, which meant I had to walk to the bathroom 1 or 2 days after the surgery. And from having a situation of where I felt like I was actually going to fall, well, I nearly did, but luckily the nurse was there holding me up. I wasn't feeling very confident, so I kind of just thought, nah, you know, I'll leave it, I'll be fine. But because as well, a lot of your sensations aren't there because you're quite numb still, I didn't really feel like I needed a wee. The one thing I was worried about was the catheter, and actually, that was like the easiest part of everything. I watched them take it out. I was like, oh my God, like freaking out, but it was nothing, honestly. It was the easiest part of the whole process, was the catheter. Like, I just think to myself now, like I was freaking out about that, and for no reason whatsoever. But the woman did actually say to me, well, the midwife, she actually said to me that I need to do a wee, otherwise they'll put another catheter in. And I thought, I'll probably just do a wee then. Like, I didn't really want it back in, even though it was an easy thing to do. Obviously I was just making a big deal out of it because I've just never had one before, and the whole thing just seems crazy. But anyway, so that was fine. I done a wee, they let me go home, and I was thinking, yeah, this is great. I was excited to be home for my dad's birthday, for Christmas, for New Year, and all of that. Obviously getting Harry home as well was good. I had visitors come to the hospital, which was lovely. And yeah, I just, you know, it was very, very overwhelming. And to be fair, I'll do another video about like mental health, you know, about postnatal depression and stuff like that, because there's a lot that's gone on in this 7 weeks. So anyway, Harry's all healthy, perfect, that's all good. So we've gone home and had fun and chilled and had a shower. I was getting into bed, but it was really difficult for me to get out of bed. and it was actually difficult to get in, but once I was in, I was like kind of stuck, so I thought, okay, well, you know. Lying down fully was really painful as well, so I had to prop myself up a little bit. Twisting to get in and out of the car, that was horrendous. That was the worst pain ever. I literally felt fully disabled for ages, and it was just not nice at all. So obviously I've been showering and doing everything else, trying to get back to normal. They tell you to move around as much as you can, but taking it easy, taking it slow. I mean, it was pretty easy to start with, and then all of a sudden, as days went on, I was getting kind of more pain. I was having a lot of burning sensation along my scar, and you have dissolvable stitches, so obviously you just think that maybe it's just something to do with that, but obviously you just expect, you know, the drugs are wearing off, because they just leave you to go home with paracetamol and paracetamol and ibuprofen, because you can't have anything stronger if obviously you're breastfeeding, which is what I was doing. Come to Christmas Day, I'd had a shower in the morning, we'd opened our presents, and then obviously we was just waiting to have a little family meal in the house. So I was kind of getting really uncomfortable that day, and I sat down and I asked Lou to actually look at my scar and well, stitches, to see if everything was all right. And he looked, and there was a massive patch of blood, fresh blood in the plaster, which was kind of see-through. I had a lot of burning, and I was very uncomfortable and in a lot of pain. So long story short, I went back to the hospital. They gave me antibiotics and told me it was a little bit of an infection. The stitches hadn't come open, but they were happy that the blood was coming out rather than going in. I had a lot of bruising and a lot of blood as well. Apparently the bruising was because of him being breech, he was really fixed inside my pelvis. So I was told that they actually manhandled me to get him out. There was a lot of, you know, pushing and pressing, but I just assumed that was normal. And I suppose that's probably why I lost a lot of blood as well. I did worry because of my polycystic ovaries that might have some contraindication, you know, during the operation. But apparently everything seems fine. All the aftercare was not very good, to be fair. Like I say, they shouldn't let you go home, or they shouldn't give you the choice of going home if you've had such a major surgery. You get home and you've got like the midwives coming to check on you and everything like that, and you say, oh, you know, you've got this pain and that pain and this hurts and that, and then they just tell you, well, you know, it's a major surgery, but if it's that major, then don't let me out of the hospital that soon at the end of the day, like. So anyway, when I was back at the hospital on Christmas Day and they gave me antibiotics, I asked them for stronger pain relief, and they told me that I wouldn't be able to breastfeed. So I took that choice, because there's no point in me being in a lot of pain and not being able to see to my baby, because it'd be pointless then. He was okay because we was mixed feeding anyway, wasn't just fully breastfeeding. He was able to just go onto formula feeds. So did that, got better after time, and that was like, I think, a week on the tablets. And then when you leave the hospital as well, you get given these injections that you have to put into your belly yourself, which I hated. It was the worst thing ever. I just don't know how these heroin addicts do it. So yeah, never ever want to do that ever again. I think it's to stop the blood clots as well though. But when I left the hospital, I didn't realise that I had to keep them tights on that they give you on your legs to stop the blood clots as well. So again, when I was at the hospital on Christmas Day, I asked them for them as well. Then they also told me that the plaster that I had on should never have been on that long. They should have took it off before I came home. So again, I just feel like I've kind of been let down a little bit whilst I was in the hospital. It's one of them. I don't know what to say really, but I'm okay now. Everything's starting to look better. I had my 6-week check when the doctor took my stitches out, because I was having a lot of pain with them for so long, and I was wondering when they was going to dissolve. So they didn't really dissolve and they didn't really fall out or anything on the outside. There was all the way along. So the doctor had to like flicked them out kind of thing because they were just loose. They just needed to, you know, to actually be taken out. I healed fine so far. There's still a lot of pain there. I actually have or had a hematoma, but I don't know how long that takes to go because there's still a hard lump just above the incision, which is quite painful still and swollen. So I think it's still there inside, but obviously these things will take time. Apart from that, everything seems fine again. I was gutted about not breastfeeding, but there's just so much that happened with me wanting to have stronger pain relief. It was just pointless me trying to keep it going, and then after so long my milk supply just stopped anyway. So even my health visitor said don't stress yourself out trying to breastfeed if it's not happening. But at least I gave it a go, and it did work for a bit. But there you go, it's just one of them. As long as he's healthy, it's fine. It was just typical though, because as soon as I start to get healthy, he starts to get ill. And because he's now a week before his injections, because they have injections at 8 weeks, he's kind of had a cold and a cough. He had colic, or he has colic, but he's got reflux, and it's like you want to get different milks for different things, and it's really pointless because they're going to have to get used to it anyway. So what I'm just thinking of doing is just keeping him on the same milk. Nappies have been not too bad. I actually find Pampers, which is one of the most expensive brands, are actually really rubbish. Whereas Sainsbury's and what's the other one? Sainsbury's and something, I can't even remember the name of them now. But there's 2 brands that I really like, and they're really good. Wipes, I was told, oh, Little Angels, which is from Asda, they're really good. They're the ones I love. But I was told that they'd be rubbish, and the wipes are rubbish, but they're actually really amazing. So it all depends on personal preference and trial and error, because people can tell you one thing, but it might be perfect for you. So yeah, all that's up to date. And then my belly's going down a lot now. I see a lot of people bounce back so much quicker, but I feel like if you have a natural birth, you do kind of bounce back quicker, because I feel like your body's obviously gone through that process and it knows to rewind and fix itself. Whereas with a C-section, your body's kind of just gone through a bit of a shock and doesn't really know what to do. So it does take longer, apparently, but it's fine. It's all a work in process. But everyone's different, so don't be worried if you're a bit slower if you're watching this and you've had your C-section, because it all takes its time. So there's not really much else that I can think about telling you about or updating, but if I do think of anything, I'll probably put it in another video anyway. But just so everyone knows that we are all healthy, and apart from having a little bit of a cold, things are going fine. Like I say, things are just trial and error at the moment. He's been crying a lot, so apparently it's only going to get worse. But you can't really prepare yourself for anything like this. You just have to go with it. If you have any questions specifically about the operation or anything I've said in this video, let me know in the comments below. If you've got any video suggestions, again, let me know. If you liked my video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see any more videos, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to put little links here and here so you can actually do that and go to another video, or you can go straight to my channel. In my next video, I will talk about the mental health side of things as well, because there's a lot to talk about. I don't want to bombard you all in one video, plus it'll be too long anyway, and you'll probably get bored. I'll post a picture of Harry at the end, just so you can see him, because I'm not going to wake him up right now. And plus I've got friends coming now anyway, yay! Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.